Okay, everybody, here we are. It is Monday, October 7th, 2019, and it's already turning out to be quite a day here on Wall Street. Let's talk about what's going on. And it's kind of honestly sickening to me because once again we are witnessing China as the puppet master. This has been going on for 2 years now. You know what? Hold that thought. Let's start off with the basics here. As I am doing this video blog, stocks are under pressure a little bit because of this. Gold and silver are about flat. Cryptocurrency is catching a bid here. The dollar is flat. Bonds are flat. I want to talk more about the bond market too in a moment, but we understand that in 3 days, apparently, there's supposed to be some talks with China. China has already laid out the ground rules. They took several key components for which the president is trying to, thankfully, I always give credit where credit's due, negotiate a good deal for the United States. China has said no. We're not even going to go there with regard to several key components for what the Trump administration is trying to do. And stocks are not liking it. Now, this is a repetitive pattern again that we have seen for 2 years. China pulling the strings, sadly leading the President of the United States and America on some kind of a terrible path here. They keep hanging out the carrot in front of the president charges at it, and then all of a sudden they pull it away. The president has got to get serious with China, and he won't. He will not do it because he will not allow the stock market to take a hit. I mean, people, look, going back to the yield curve, which I said I wanted to talk about. As all of you know, I have explained to you since time immemorial that you need to watch the yield curve. It will give you a good indication of where stocks are going to go. On Friday, again, we found out the Federal Reserve has embarked on stage one, in my view, of going absolutely nuclear. They are buying every part of the yield curve. In other words, they are rigging every part of the yield curve around. The Federal Reserve is not only messing with the federal funds rate, the Federal Reserve is not only messing with this repo scam to keep the short end of the curve suppressed. They are buying medium and long-term debt as well. I mean, people, this is QE6 full-blown, but we haven't seen anything yet. This is just the opening salvos, like I explained this to you. So looking at the yield curve now, and I've been putting a lot of thought into this over the weekend, we got troubles, you and I. And me personally, as a guy who follows the debt market, I think more so than I even follow the stock market, this is a new dynamic. Because if the Fed is in here, again, rigging the federal funds rate, this repo scam, buying medium and longer term debt as well, how do we gauge what's happening in the debt market clearly? Because again, the Federal Reserve is running the show completely, along with other world central banks. And this is just a situation that I have to think about and ponder a lot, because I can't see, at least at this point, if the Federal Reserve is doing what they're doing right now, how we can use the debt market as a reliable gauge. I don't think we can in this environment. So that's an issue. It really is. Now, forget about the yield curve for a moment. We understand now what's happening. China is playing a game. They're toying with not just the President of the United States, but the American people. All right? And they are continuing to dictate the rules. And if our president does not start to play hardball, he's already losing in a big way. Nobody out here, I don't care how big you support the president, and I want him to be successful with China, okay? So listen to my perspective, and I'm not beating the guy up. I'm giving him credit where credit's due for you imbeciles out here. He's losing in the biggest possible way with regard to this China trade deal. China is dictating the rules. China is pulling the strings because they understand that the president will not allow the stock market to take a hit. You cannot win a trade war or negotiate without allowing the stock market to take a hit. The president will not do that. He is fixated on a higher stock market. He is fixated on punishing the middle class to the highest order so they can subsidize the entire stock market. Period. The end. That's where we are. Once the president realizes, unless there's a bigger plan going on here, and seriously, I think you know what it is, he is going to decimate the middle class worse than they're being decimated right now. We lose. We absolutely lose. He's got to change his position. He's got to change his stance here with regard to supporting the stock market and forcing the middle class, the people of America, to subsidize this whole thing. Where is all this debt coming from? Like I explained to you, I said to you that the president and the Federal Reserve multiple times, since how long? You tell me. That we were going to see a debt expansion extravaganza like you cannot believe. Well, it's starting now, and it's on your back, it's on your children's back, it's on the American people's back to support the stock market, and the president cannot win. Mark my words, cannot win and cannot get us a good deal with China until he stops rigging the stock market via the Federal Reserve. It's just an incredible thing that we're watching here, people. One and the same. The Fed and the president have become synchronized. Everything that the Fed is saying, the president is saying right now, that should tell you something. Their plan is complete. Their plan is winning. The military-industrial complex now has the man that they need in the White House. That is President Donald Trump. He is doing everything he can to support the military-industrial complex, which involves the entire banking system and, of course, the central banks of the world. Almost every single Dow component is a part of the military-industrial complex. And they are winning big. And with this new round of quantitative easing, they're going to win even bigger. And who's going to lose? The middle class. That's where we're at. If you do not see this still right now, you are blind. I don't care if you have a different opinion than I do, but open your eyes and tell me where I am wrong. It's disgusting and it's freaking revolting. And China, the puppet masters, they are laughing. They are laughing right now. These people are smart, they are shrewd, and they got the president right by the you-know-whats. And they know it. And that is a terrible thing for America. All right, with that said, people, look, I love all of you. It's the truth. I got to get back to work here. I was on the short end of this market this morning. I placed a trade. I made a few dollars. I got out of that trade because I wanted to make this video, but I lost a significant amount of money by doing this video. But again, I think this is important, and I'll make it up throughout the day. This guy, again, loves you. Please share this video. I'll see you later.